What's up, J Fusion fans? This is Philip, and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to talk about Daichi Kamijo from Kamen Rider Saber. Now, before we continue, I would like to place major spoiler alerts for Kamen Rider Saber, especially if you haven't caught up with the show yet, or if you haven't even started watching it. So, I highly recommend that you watch it first or catch up before watching this video. Otherwise, enjoy. Now, the fact that I am making this video is enough to say, like, I really need to put spoiler alerts in the beginning. So, again, if you haven't caught up with Kamen Rider Saber yet, please do watch. We're already at episode 10. All right, here we go. So, Daichi Kamijo. He's a character that's already been introduced to us in the first episode of the series, and he was the swordsman who saved a young Toma Kamiyama. And of course, he was using the Kaien Rekka, which means that he was the Kamen Rider Saber before Toma became Saber. So, it's interesting how a character, being introduced in the very first episode, made a strong impact. Now, again, we see Daichi sacrificing himself to save Toma, and well, since he vanished, it was presumed that he died doing so, but apparently he survived. And with that kind of character making such a strong impact, it would be such a shame to just let that character be one shot. Like, who is this guy? What was he like? Or uh, what's his backstories and things like that. So he does return in episode 10, and now he is Kamen Rider Calibur. So, speaking of Kamen Rider Calibur, of course, what we do know from the first episode alone is that he is seen as the traitor who betrayed the Sword of Logos and is now working with Megiddo. So, at first, Kamen Rider Calibur, we thought that the Kamen Rider Espada's father, so Kentos father Hayato Fukamiya, was Kamen Rider Calibur, and it is according to Kento himself. So, uh, all this time, Kento thought that the Calibur that he's been fighting is his father, but it turns out is not. Now, we already get hints that the Calibur that we've been watching since episode 1, or rather, in later episodes after episode 1. So we were simply assuming that this Kamen Rider Calibur was Hayato, but even though Hayato's image has been superimposed on Calibur, since Kento himself said that his father is Kamen Rider Calibur, we haven't seen his untransformed state until episode 7. And even then, his face wasn't shown. So it's already hinting to us that the Kamen Rider Caliber that we are currently seeing isn't actually who we thought it was. So what's interesting is before episode 10, I have seen some rumors in the Japanese Kamen Rider community where uh, Rintaro's master, became Kamen Rider Caliber. So it was possible at that time because, the battle between uh, Zuos and the previous Kamen Rider Blades was never shown, but nonetheless, we did get our confirmation in episode 10 eventually. So, with the Kamen Rider Caliber, with the Daichi Kamijo being revealed as the man behind the mask, So things are starting to get interesting. So what we can assume, or what we've been assuming, or at least from the information given to us so far, so Kamen Rider Calibur, like I've said earlier, he betrayed the Sword of Logos. And interestingly, when asked by Kento, uh, Daichi himself says that Hayato did betray the Sword of Logos. So, what happened? Now, it's not said yet, but of course, that's something that we would have to wait for later episodes and, getting Daichi to talk more about what happened with the Hayato. So, when it comes out, only then we would find out what actually happened 15 years prior to the series, all those events and whatnot. So it's also interesting to learn his motives. So because now what we see is Daichi is the current Kamen Rider Caliber, and he is now working with the sword. Oh no, he's working with Megiddo. Sorry about that. So even though he did save Toma from, uh, you know, uh, 15 years ago. So even though he did that, we now see him working with the enemy. So it would be interesting to see the reasons behind Daichi working with Megiddo as well. So if Hayato already betrayed, so to say, the Sword of Logos, why did Daichi do the same? And uh, this is just my assumption for now, but despite both Kamen Rider Caliburs ending up betraying the Sword of Logos, to what ends they have, their reasons for doing so may be different from each other. And again, this is something that we're going to have to learn in later episodes. So for now, a lot still remains, as mystery regarding Kamen Rider Caliber, but now we do have his identity. So, what do you guys think about Kamen Rider Caliber? Uh, what reasons do you think he has for joining Megiddo and becoming Kamen Rider Caliber? So, let me know in the comments. So, thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you enjoyed, please do leave a like, comment, share this video, subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so you get the latest from JE Fusion. This has been Philip, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!